It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I forgot that this wasn't going to be wrapped up. I forgot that Elizabeth Gaskell died before this could be completed. But, it was wonderful. I want to read everything she's ever written. I just was just so enthralled with this. I fell in love with the characters. I wanted the best for them. It was beautiful. I love it. 5 stars. It's interesting that the only 2 books that I have finished for Victober, this and the Thomas Hardy book, I now am in love with these authors and want to read everything they've ever written. It's been 2 really cool discoveries for me. So even if I don't complete my Victober TBR, which, let's face it, it's not going to happen, I still have had a chance to discover 2 new amazing authors, and that's a total win. Yeah. So it's Monday night, the first day of Victober week 4, and I have spent it cleaning and taking care of my children and finishing this book, which I'm so excited about. Another thing that happened today, which is so exciting, is the Overstory came in the mail. Oh, I cannot wait to read this book. Pumped. There's so many books I cannot wait to read, but this is at the top of the list. I'm a bit bummed it's not the other cover, but this is pretty too. So yeah, I finished 2 books for Victober. I did it. So now I'm going to start another one, but I'm not sure. I'll get back to you. Hang on. So here we go. For Victober, I have 3 books left on my TBR. So I've got Kim to finish. I really should, because I'm going to be bummed if I don't do it, because I will never, ever get back to it. And this kind of Victober challenge stuff would force me to do it. Hang on. And then I've got Family Parsonage, which I've only read a tiny, tiny bit of. But it's great and I like it, and I would definitely want to read it, but it's a huge book to finish in a week. And then I had Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte on my TBR, but I heard Sean the Book Maniac talk about this book and he said it was rubbish. So that's not really enticing me to read it. So that's my Victober sort of sitch. I guess, right, so I guess I should do Kim. I should do Kim. And then I've got The Alienist, which I keep talking about and I haven't started, and Rebecca, which I keep talking about and haven't started. So I guess if I'm going to do anything, it's these guys. And I've got a week and a bit to do them all. Could happen. Couldn't. Right now I've got some work to do, and then I'm going to come back and start one of these. I'll have to process that a bit more. I'll let you know when I've processed it. For better internet so I can upload some vlogs. That doesn't seem to be working either. I just live in a shit part of the internet world. But I got some books for November. It's exciting. Okay, I'm going to try and upload. So basically I'm just trying to multitask, getting the washing off the line and vlogging. I haven't read anything today and I just want to get all of my mum jobs done so I can sit down and read. That's what I want to do. God damn it, that's what I'm going to do. tiny bookcase because we're moving house, we're moving town, so I don't want to buy any more infrastructure for my books, so I just have to try and squeeze them in where I can at the moment. And when I move, I've already picked my reading space, I've already picked what type of bookshelves I want built. I cannot wait to get that all set up lovely, but for the meantime this is working out fine. But yeah, I just had a little bit of fun in my afternoon of cleaning. I love rearranging bookshelves. Can you see it? That full moon. It's gorgeous. I can't wait to see it tonight. I wonder what the sunset is doing. Oh, it's lovely and pink. Oh, I live in a beautiful part of the world, huh? Very lucky woman. Drop the kids to school and I snuck to the bookshop early. Really early, and look what I bought. Yay! For my November TBR. I'm just so excited to have it in my hands. I've been looking at this book forever. Victober, which is the town that we're moving to, and the boys had their trial at their new school today and it went wonderful, so tick, that was the last kind of hurdle. So I'm just got the afternoon to hang out by myself, which is really nice. So of course I'm going to hunt down every bookshop and every op shop in Toowoomba and buy books, because that's what I do when I've got time to myself. So you can come along with me. It's Friday morning and we're still in Toowoomba, so we're not at home. We've got a day to hang out, which is nice. I am reading The Alienist. I'm on page 204. This is the thing I think about murder mysteries, right? There's lots of other information and you have to kind of excuse the author's waffle in good faith, because you think maybe that waffle is leading to something that's going to be pulled together in the end and it'll all become clear. What I get frustrated with is when the waffle doesn't mean anything at all. So you are just reading through all of this descriptive New York stuff in this book and descriptions about other murders and things like that, which have nothing to do with the actual case. I don't know that for sure, but I've got a feeling there's a little bit of that element happening. It's good, it's pacey. I'm enjoying it. I'm just concerned about whether this is a 500-page book, whether all of those words are necessary in solving this crime. But it's cool. It's giving me a good sense of New York in the 1860s or whatever it is. So I'm going to keep reading for a little bit longer and then we're going to head out for the day. There's a book sale on, so we'll take you there, because I intend to spend a lot of time there. Jackpot. Okay. The vlog just uploaded. I did it. after so long. So Victober vlog week 2 is up. And I'm on week 4. So I've done that one now. I'm going to upload week 3 and really get on the ball. I'm excited to finally be able to share them. Thank gosh. It's a good night. It's a good night. That, and I am that far from finishing Alienist. I'm on page 392 of 530 something. So if I get my vlogs up and a book finished tonight, holy crap, kicking goals. This is the reality for all of those people who don't have children, who think how nice it would be to have them and sleep next to them in a bed. This is the reality. It's 3:30 in the morning. At 1:30 I decided to just give up on sleep because every time my little one rolled or coughed or did anything, I was awake. So I have picked up a book and I finished it. I finished The Alienist. I gave it 3 stars. It's Murder Mysteries and they always leave me wanting something more clever. And this is pretty clever, but it's just, as I was finishing it off, I was thinking nothing's going to satisfy me. It's just not my kind of genre, really. But it was a good book. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. It was just a 3-star read for me. But I'm glad I got it out of my system and read it. Now at 3:30, I uploaded another vlog for week 3. I'm on fire. I've worked out what I was doing wrong. It's really exciting. I don't feel like I'm just videoing in vain. But now I have Rebecca to read, and I want to try and finish this by the end of the weekend, but we have a family reunion due on tomorrow and lots of stuff happening, so maybe. I'm going to read this and attempt to drop back off to sleep next to a constantly moving 4-year-old. Wish me luck. I'll see you in the morning. Hi, it's Sunday afternoon and we just arrived home. We immediately jumped in the pool and cooled ourselves off. We were 4 days away, and while it's wonderful being away and seeing all of our family, it's really nice to come home to the quiet. I came home also to some packages that I had ordered. This is a Thomas Keneally book. I bought this because I was interested with Peg, the book prize addict, working her way through the Moocs Madness list, and Thomas Keneally was on there, and I realised I've just never read any of his books. So I picked this one up for my November TBR, and I was delighted to see that. It's a nice short little novella, I guess. It's only 130 pages long or something like that. Yes, that was in the mail, and then the new John Boyne. I love John Boyne's writing. I really, really do. And this is his new book out. I want to devour it immediately. And I was really excited that I got a lovely used edition, because we all know that I don't really like buying new books. I like the feel of a used book. So yeah, pumped to read this book. I'm really excited to do that. And then while we're here, I thought I would go through the pile that I collected in Toowoomba at all of our little book sales that we went to. I got another John Boyne book. This is at the library sale. I just love his writing. I don't care what it's about. I just want it in my collection. I want to read it. I got a Tim Winton book. Tim Winton's an acclaimed Australian author who deserves all of the praise. I have read a couple of his books, but not this one, and I didn't even know this existed. Yeah, it's about a man whose, marriage breaks down and he moves into a seedy flat, and all of these things from his past come back to haunt him. I don't know if haunting's the right word, but I liked Tim Winton's writing, so yeah, I got this book. I got an Ian McEwan book because I've never read Ian McEwan before, and I love a podcast called Chat 10 Looks 3, which are 2 wonderful women talking about books and all sorts of things, but they're big Ian McEwan fans, and so I saw this and I loved the cover as well. So, yep, picked that up. Zadie Smith, Swing Time. I haven't read any Zadie Smiths yet. I think I've got White Tiger somewhere. Oh, is it White Tiger? White Teeth. No, I don't have it. And Zadie Smith. I just have heard about this book. It was $1. The Course of Love. This is a book about how you think that you strive to get the husband or the wife or the partner and get married, and you think that that's it, you've found the love and it'll last forever. And so it's an interesting story about after marriage love, which is interesting to me because I'm a married woman of 10 years nearly. So yeah, I grabbed that one. I know I've never heard of this book before. The cover caught my eye. This is about a woman who's a bird illustrator, and her husband is the genius in the family. He's some sort of naturalist or something. And it talks about her, how she's such an amazing, let's put these gorgeous illustrations in there. She's such an amazing artist, yet she takes a back seat to her husband's glory and fame, and talks about the dynamic of their marriage, which I thought was quite interesting. Yeah, so I picked that one up. Sagaland. I don't know if anybody outside of Australia heard about this, but this is one of the authors is Richard Fiedler, who's a super famous broadcaster in Australia. I would highly recommend the podcast Conversations with Richard Fiedler, I think it's called. I'll try and find it and link it. And his interviewing technique is beyond amazing. It is up there with the best. And he chats for an hour to people about their lives, and it's really, really cool podcast to check it out. But he also co-wrote this book, and this is about Icelandic sort of folk tales, and they work their way. These two gentlemen travel to Iceland and then worked their way through the places where these folk tales are set and explore them a bit more. I don't know anything about Iceland, but I know that I love Richard Fiedler and everything he does. I find him a very intelligent, very fair man, and so yeah, I thought I would buy this too. I don't know why I bought this. Everybody's talking about it. That never ends well, but I'll give it a go. I got a Nabokov. Don't judge me, but I love Lolita. It's such a struggle, that book. I love it, yet the premise of it is not cool. But I've never read anything else other than Lolita by Nabokov, so here we go. I found this lovely old Daphne du Maurier book. I adored the cover and everything about it, and because I'm involved in that Daphne du Maurier project right now, I thought I would pick this up. Oh, I have a little one. What's wrong?
Can I watch YouTube?
Yes. Constant interruptions. Yeah, so add to the collection. I bought 2 Thomas Hardy books because after my Far From the Madding Crowd experience this Victober, I just adore his books. I mean, obviously there's tests, but I've never read it. And then I found Under the Greenwood Tree, which is the one I wanted to find. And check this out. In the book was this gorgeous pressed flower piece. These little treasures are why I love buying secondhand books. Thomas Hardy's writing and how, about the nature and about the seasons around him, in Far From the Madding Crowd, I loved it. And this book, when I opened it up, it's separated into the different seasons, so spring, summer, autumn, winter, and I just knew that I would love it. Plus, Sean the Bullmaniac loved it too, so I like his recommendations. Yeah, this was one of my top finds. I got 2 Ishiguro novels because I'd never read any of them. and they were $1. I got the Sellout because I've heard about it, and that's kind of it, and it was $1. I don't know anymore. And then I found somebody must have cut out the review and from the paper and put it in the back of the book too, so I absolutely had to have it then because that's a little piece of somebody else. And then lastly, Music and Freedom. I don't know if Zoe Morrison is an Australian author. I really should find that out. But this is about a girl who This is about a girl who plays the piano very well in rural Australia, and so her parents, or her mother, sends her to England to boarding school to develop her skill more. Yeah, she lives in Melbourne. I should have known that. I'd heard about this book, and when I saw it, I picked it up. That's my huge haul. I mean, seriously, I don't know, there's 15 books there. I have nowhere to put them with my shitty bookshelves. Yeah, I love it. So, lastly, that's all. That's really all. So, I guess the rest of today is just going to be hanging out. We're exhausted, all of us. And an afternoon of dipping in and out of the pool and reading this puppy sound great to me. I've only read 28 pages, but the writing is already intriguing me. And I know that if I didn't have to do any mum stuff, I could devour this in one sitting, but my children aren't just going to vanish until I finish a book, unfortunately. But, yeah, I'm just going to spend the afternoon getting stuck into this. I think I'll only pop back in if I finish it, which is highly unlikely. So I'm going to sign off the vlog here. I will check back in with you and let you know my final wrap up for Victober, but the fact that I'm reading Rebecca and not a Victorian novel would suggest that I'm pretty much done with that, but you never know, I could turn it all around in the last 3 days. Yeah, right. So thanks for watching this week, and I will catch up with you on the next reading vlog. Bye.